day to work on it in the driveway, right, Arlie?
Absolutely.
You done with that shock yet?
Almost.
What's taking so long?
I finally got the left.
A righty tighty, lefty loosey face.
Well, it's different. You know, it's a circle. It's not just straight. You gotta think about a clock.
Right and left is different if you go in a circle?
Yes. You have to go with the clock to loosen it up and go against the clock to tighten it up.
Against the clock would be left, which is loosening. With the clock would be right.
That's what I meant.
Which is tightening.
Wrong. Stupid left and right.
Well, it is sitting here. Need to charge the battery, and then we can go test it. So, when we tested the other night, I got some data on this car, some good data on the car. According to the data, about 30 feet out, it hazed the tires pretty good. And you can see it in the video if you're looking for it. But the data says there was a lot of wheel speed about 30 feet out. So it was telling me that it was on the tire and it wasn't grabbing very well. The data also shows me between the 1-2 shift, the car was a little upset, not bad, but after it went into second, between the 2-3 shift, it was smooth. Like the car was getting, the car had good traction, the car was planted good, the car was going good, and right before the 3-4 shift, you could tell the car was moving around a little bit, like it was getting up on the tire again. And then the 3-4 shift, everything calmed down and it went through the beams. So it tells me this car can be a lot faster, because even though as fast as it was, and the mile per hour, it mile per hour really well. The mile per hour that it run, it shows me that the car has a lot of potential now to be competitive. I honestly, in order to me feel comfortable, I honestly need 3 or 4 tenths out of the car. But it's going to be faster with some adjustments that I made, just because it's not going to be up on the tires, it's not going to be hazing the tires, it's not going to be moving around on the track. So it's going to pick up some there. How much, I don't know. And I also don't know how much this height is going to affect it now. So I need to find that out, because I have to race it at this height. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out to the track, and I got my stuff in it so I can look at my data, and we're going to make a pass, and we're going to see what happens. A clean pass will tell me a lot, because with a clean pass, then I know where I can go as far as making changes. Right now, with it hazing the tire and doing a few things, I don't really feel comfortable making much in the way of changes at the moment. Again, I did change the front suspension up a little bit. I said major changes, but honestly, it wasn't much. It was a little bit, just to get the height right. So there is going to be some changes up there for that. We're going to see how that affects it. I also changed the air pressure a little bit, but that's all I'm going to change. Somebody blowing the horn like they know me. But that's all I'm going to change until after we make the first pass, because I want to see similar circumstances what this car can do. Because here's what I know. This car is fast now. This car is very fast now for what it is. Well, I don't even have to say for what it is. The car is very fast now. Keep in mind, this is a 4-speed car that is 4,000 pounds and runs a 7-inch wide slick on the back, per the rules we have to run by. And this car, I'm not going to tell you how fast the car is, because I kind of want to keep that under wraps for a little while, just for a little while. but I've got some data on this car that shows that this car wants to be faster than what it is. Let me talk about that for a second. This car has to set a certain height here and here to meet Southeast Gasser's rules. Now, the height in which the car was sitting at my last pass was closer to the factory height, which was not Southeast Gasser's legal, not even close to Southeast Gasser's legal. So now the car is lifted back up in the front and back. Technically, it's an inch higher than it needs to be in the back and about 1.5 inches higher than it needs to be in the front. But that's because they measure it with me in it, and I'm a big boy, so I need the cushion so it'll sink when I'm in it. So now we're going to do two things, back-to-back comparison, as far as how much the height affects the car. Maybe it's faster, I don't know. Maybe it's slower, I don't know. But two is how much those changes are going to upset this new combination. So tell me if anybody else has noticed this. The more power that you make, the more responsive the car seems to be to little changes. What I mean is, there was a time in this car when I first started at it, I could throw the freaking kitchen sink at it, and I really had to pay attention to tell if there was a difference. I am making a buttload of horsepower now, and I made a minor shock change, and it just upset this car. Minor, it upset this car. So it still made the fastest pass that I have ever been in this car. Fastest pass in this combination in this car. So I did what you should do, and I completely changed the stuff on the front end, and we're gonna go test that and see how that works. Place is crowdeder than half off night at the local whorehouse, but we're gonna try to get down and make at least a pass. Jesus, there's a lot of people here. You ever see something that you didn't know you wanted until you seen it, and now you just feel like you gotta have one? Shine your light under there so we can see what happened. And where's that? Oh yeah, there it is. The shock, the broken shock, just hanging out the bottom of the front end. Yeah. So I got the car and get it unloaded. Still sitting on the trailer from last night. I didn't say much last night after we made our pass because, well, there wasn't much to talk about. I was going to try to explain what happened, but honestly, after sleeping on it, I can't explain it myself. First off, the first thing that happened was my fault. I underestimated track prep. Car dead hooked when it left. My thought was, and I was completely wrong, the track did a good job at prepping the track. There'd been a lot of street cars went down. Usually street cars pull up some of the glue and some of the prep and stuff, so I assumed the track would be a little slick, and I left kind of soft and the car dead hooked. That was on me. It's not the first time I've made that mistake. Well, I came out of the dead hook, recovered a little bit. The car, I'm still trying to process how it happened. The car came up a little bit and came back down. Something was weird, and it came back down. When it came back down, it just instantly went to bounce. Got back to the pits, and it had just ripped the shock off the front. The driver's side shock is completely broken. Or wait, the passenger side shock is broken. The driver's side shock, it broke the little tie bar off the bottom and shoved the shock through the bottom. The shock is still intact, but it's bent. So it just destroyed the front shocks. And I can't figure out exactly how it happened, because it didn't slam the ground. It didn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I can't explain it yet. I hadn't took the car off trailer to take it apart to try to examine things. So the plan was to try to get some shocks put back on this thing, and go test again tonight. But it's supposed to start raining here in a little while, so I'm gonna get the car put away, and we'll probably test some more next week. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to process through what happened. I've never had a car do what that one done. The car's obviously making a ton more power than it ever has. It's a handful, so it's a big learning curve for the nut behind the wheel, you know what I mean? And we're trying to get a handle on it. I can't figure out exactly how it did what it did last night, but car sounds good. Jesus. So the plan was to go to Ware Shoals and test again last night. Unfortunately, I didn't get new shocks for it yesterday, so that means a trip to Summit today. And man, I tell you, I've never battled this car like this. When I say, you always hear people say new car blues. When I say it's a real thing, Hoss, it's a real thing on this one. This new drivetrain has been a learning curve, and we'll get it figured out. We will get it figured out. So today we're on our way to Summit to grab some new shocks and a couple other little gizmos, and I don't know. We're gonna get it figured out. And this car was probably, before I built this engine, this car was probably the most consistent car I've ever drove. I can pull out a time slip from a race from, say, last season and go 2 or 3 races ahead and pull out a time slip, and they're almost the same. That car ran so dead nuts consistent, and it did not care what you done to it. It would still run that consistent. And yeah, we kind of upset that a little bit. But everybody's got to go faster, right? It's all in the efforts to go faster. And it's time to make some changes. Yeah, I got to correct some issues, and we got to get this thing to go down the track. I've battled this car. I know some of y'all that's new to the channel, you probably have not gotten to see it make a perfect pass yet, or a consistent pass yet, but hang in there, it'll get there. I promise you, up till we put this new drivetrain in, this car was dead nuts consistent every time it made a pass. So we're getting there. We're getting there. On my style. Full length on the back of it. What were the odds on walking up on FE parts in the discount section at Summit? That literally never happens.
Happy Mother's Day, Bobby.
So we went to Summit to get a pair of shocks to replace the front on the ones on the Galaxy that you bent.
You broke.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was me.
You broke the hell out of.
I slightly misaligned them.
Right.
That's all we came for.
I got tricked into going for a ride today.
That's all we came for. Yeah, that worked well for us.
Happy Mother's Day, hon.
I love you.
I love you too.
My wife is a covered bridge fanatic. She absolutely loves covered bridges. We spent one summer going through about 13 states looking at covered bridges. And if that's what my wife loves to do, she supports the racing habit, so I'll support her covered bridge habit. If y'all know where any cool covered bridges are, let me know. Maybe when we're in your area, we can go by and check them out, because she's always up for a stop at a good covered bridge. This one's in Conyers, Georgia, by the way. On our way back home, we wanted a little bite to eat, and we came across this place called the Bowman House. Now, neither one of us have ever eaten there, but let me tell you, it is absolutely worth the stop. This food was wonderful in here, all home cooked. It was absolutely a great meal. If you're ever in Bowman, Georgia, stop by and give them a check out. It's awesome food. All right, I couldn't wait to open this anymore. An adjustable ram clutch setup for the money that I paid for this thing is just insane. So I've got to I got to get it open and just look at it and make sure there's no damage or anything. Honestly, I don't even think it would matter if it was. Our friends at Ram will rebuild these. Oh. Nice, very nice. Got the throwout bearing with it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Absolutely. Let's talk about I went to Summit, took my wife with me, and we cruised down to Summit this morning to pick up 2 shocks. That's all we were after, because we wanted to replace the ones that left the conversation Thursday. That was the goal. We're gonna ride down there and get 2 shocks. Well, on the way down there, I come up with a couple of other little items that, a couple things I wanted to adjust on the car and change on the car, but nothing, no big deal. So when you walk into Summit, for those that have not been to a Summit, and I assume they're all about the same, but let's focus on the one that's in Georgia, which is closest to me here in South Carolina. So when you go into Summit, you go in, you turn back to the right, in the very back right corner, there's always a sale section or a discount section. I always go back there and walk around and look. There's usually never anything there that has any use to me. Most of it's just common stuff, you know, small block Chevy stuff or something like that. It's just common stuff that you find. So for those that don't know what these items are, is either someone ordered the wrong part or there was some miscommunication. For whatever reason, a lot of these parts are returned parts, or parts they had in the warehouse that the box got damaged for some reason, so they had to wrap them in cellophane. Either way, they can't sell them for retail price anymore because something happened. They're still good parts. The parts have been inspected by the people that work there, you know, for what they know. But anyway, there's usually nothing wrong with them. Well, the Ram clutch setup like this is usually in the $800 range, ballpark. And like everything else in the world right now, prices are kind of all over the place, but ballpark, good number. Well, I was walking down through there and I was looking at all the discount stuff as I normally do, and just kind of glancing over everything, and that caught my eye. It was wrapped in plastic. I'm like, that kind of looks like a Ford pressure plate. So I'm gonna go over and look at that. And sure enough, I looked at the part number on it. the part number on it is for a Ford FE. It's made for a Ford FE, and it's complete. It's got the disc, the pressure plate, and the throwout bearing, the whole 9 yards. Well, it was marked at 50% off. So it was marked at, let me get the paper here. So it was marked at 50% off retail, which was $4.99. So it was marked down to $4.99. Apparently it sat there for a while because, again, not a lot of guys fool with FE stuff. Apparently it sat there for a while, so they were going to mark it down again. So they put a label on it, 50% off of the price. It says 50% off the price. Well, after that had happened, somebody come back and put $250 on it. I'm assuming that they put $250 on it, saying that was supposed to be the price. Well, when I got to the register, he gave it to me for 50% off the $250. So I've got this $800 Ram clutch set for $125. So Waylon's getting a Ram clutch set, and we got to take that off our budget now that we're done. Now the aluminum, we picked up an aluminum radiator also. The aluminum radiator was over in that same section. Somebody had ordered it for the wrong year model. But that is made for a truck like Waylon with an FE in it. What were the freaking odds to find 2 parts sitting there for an FE, and the aluminum radiator is marked down to $130. So we need to put that on there right now before I forget it. Oh, and for those that haven't been following along, go back and check out some of the videos on Waylon. We were doing a $3,000 budget build challenge with some other YouTubers. $3,000 was all you were allowed to spend. So it's been a little bit of a longer process because we have been kind of pinching pennies, running across that stuff. That stuff, ironically, is pretty much everything other than some belts and hoses we need to get Waylon done. So we had $1,088 left. We done $125 on our clutch, and all the receipts is there too if anybody wants to check it. And then we done $136 on our radiator, on our rad. Hold on, you're gonna watch a Liberty graduate do math. 5, that's let's see, draw a little line. That's 11, 6, 7, that's 8. Right, $281, and then we had $1,088 left, and we're gonna take away $281. Got a 7 there. That makes that a naught. Not this 8. So we have $807 remaining. We have $807 remaining in our budget to do our hoses, belts, buy a couple pieces of tubing for exhaust, buy a couple cheap mufflers. So yeah, we're home free now. So we've got $807 left to do the few things left it needs to do. We may actually be able to throw in some little trinkets. All right, guys, one last thing I was going to add in this video this week. I mentioned last week that I added in this video this week that engine that we're building for the customer, that 390 over there, that we'd set it on a run stand and crank it up and let it run. You will not see that in this video. Reason being is this video is going to be a little shorter. Reason being for that is when I said that last week, I had lost track of the calendar a little bit, and this is Mother's Day weekend, and we're going to spend some time with my wife and my mom and my kid and all. So we're going to spend a little family time this weekend and for Mother's Day. So that will be in the next video. I actually may come out here later tonight or maybe even tomorrow night and tinker with it some, but you will see that in the next video that comes out. Again, this video is just a little shorter. This video didn't have a whole lot of great content in it, just being honest. You got to see us break a car and chase our tail a little bit. it happens sometimes. Most YouTube people would not show you a video like this because they only want you to see that everything always goes beautiful and sunshine and roses and everything. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to show you the ups, the downs, and everything in between. And this has been one of those little bumpy rides for us. It's wasn't the worst thing in the world. At the end of the day, a broken shock is, you know, it happens. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. We've got the new shocks. We've got that corrected. It's not a big deal at all. The next video that comes out will probably be a little longer because there will be some work on the car. There should be some on this engine, and there should be some race footage because not this weekend now that we're here in, but next weekend is our race. So there should be some race footage. It actually will be uploaded on Sunday of next week because the race is on Saturday, and I'm gonna get some race footage in it. Hopefully everything will work out because we're not gonna have any time to test between now and the race. We're just gonna have to use what data that we did collect, which honestly wasn't a lot because we had 2 passes on that motor. Neither pass was perfect. The first pass was a lot better than this last one, but the last one did tell us a few things. So with that being said, I'm gonna put new shocks on the front of it, set them up like they were in the first video that worked, and then we're gonna make a slight adjustment to the rear, and just a very minor adjustment to the rear suspension, and fold our hands and ask the Lord that it make it to A to B when we get to the track, and that it's that we found the bugs, and somehow magically we make one heck of a hit when we get there. So I don't know yet how it's going to go, but we are going to find out, and we'll find out together because, like I said, I don't hide anything from you. For all you mothers out there that watch, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your special day. At the end of the day, ladies, we could not do what we do if we didn't have great women behind us, cheering us on along the way or helping us out. Or for you ladies that participate in the hobby, you know, happy Mother's Day anyway. I don't know where I was going with that. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Anyway, please hit that subscribe button. It does help us out. And I hope you guys enjoy this content. Remember, it is getting better. Also, if you want a poster of the car, you can find them at 78speedshop.com. And hope to see y'all in Wilkesboro next week. And guys, have a blessed weekend. Hope the Lord blesses you more now than he did yesterday. And we're going to get out of here, and we're going to get started on our weekend, and then we'll get started on making content for next week. So by the time I see you next time, we will have a pass under our belt. Hopefully we will have this engine done, and it'll either be celebrating together at the end of the video, or we'll be hanging our heads wondering what in the hell just happened. Y'all stay tuned. Apparently we've got the parts now to finish Whelen. We got this 390 build that we'll have some more content on in this next video, and we've got the parts for the Galaxy. So yeah, we've got a lot coming because I want to get Whelen put together and up and running really soon, because we've got the event coming up in Salem with it before long. And we're going to have to get the wagon in here because we're taking the wagon on Power Tour. We've got a lot coming up. Y'all stay tuned. God bless y'all. We'll see you.